The big guys clash when the Big Texan tests Jake Dirden today on SICW Wrestling Explosion. Hello, I'm Larry Matisick. Jake has been on a roll, but the Texan is determined to end it. Texan is all fired up about his chance to end the career of Gary Jackson when they meet next Saturday, November 16th in East Carondelet. He's so confident he's even risking his mask, assuming Dirden doesn't snatch it first. Ron Powers is primed to snatch the Classic Championship next Saturday, and we'll talk with Ron later today. The fun gets underway after these messages. Once more, the exciting 2013 season proved that the Gateway Grizzlies are an important part of the St. Louis and Metro East sports scene. Every game is fun for fans of all ages, hustling and hard-hitting. The Grizzlies always provide plenty of bang for the buck. In addition, the GCS ballpark is the perfect place to enjoy baseball. The organization, the facility, part of our community. Baseball is America's game, and the Gateway Grizzlies do it right. Keep in touch with new developments. Go to gatewaygrizzlies.com.
Unique and affordable gifts and collectibles on the internet are available at the Black Bear Haversack Trading Post. Go to blackbearhaversack.com. Semi-precious stones, bone horn and soapstone items, abalone shells, genuine coyote and water buffalo teeth pendants, products for Civil War, medieval, and Renaissance reenactments, and so much more. For a 10% discount, mention SICW number 7 when you place your order. It's blackbearhaversack.com for top quality at reduced prices.
Referee Jim Harris calls for the bell. It's Jake Dirden against the Big Texan. We have a couple of big bulls in that ring right now. Jake Dirden walking around that ring, stomping and barking. The Big Texan taking a look at him. Jake Dirden shows that thumb that he sometimes uses for the Asiatic spike. He does look like King Kong Brody, I gotta admit it. And Big Texan's probably looking at him and saying, "Who are you?" Well, look at Big Texan. He's standing right up to Dirden, letting him bark in his face. Jim Harris says, "Come on, let's wrestle." Dirden, I think, is trying to intimidate the Big Texan a little bit. And you know the Big Texan wants a win here because it's only a week away when he squares off with Gary Jackson in East Carondelet and hopes to end the career of Gary Jackson and keep his mask. And if he loses to Gary Jackson, Big Texan loses his mask, and you're going to see what's under there. Does he have blue hair? Does he have any hair? Who is he? We'll find out if Gary Jackson wins. And we'll find out who the Classic Champion is. Can Ron Powers come back to the crown? Can he win it a second time? Can he become the first man to win the Classic Wrestling Championship twice when he squares off with Iron Man Ken Casa, accompanied by his manager Travis Cook, next Saturday? Next Saturday, November 16th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Flying tackle did not knock Dirden over by Big Texan. And I think we're having a little argument. Oh, he wants Dirden to try again. Let's see what happens here. Flying tackle, and Texan stands his ground. And they butt heads and look at each other and growl at each other. Forearm smashed into the gut by the Big Texan, a forearm over the back. He grabs the beard of Jake Dirden. The referee, Jim Harris, trying to break that up. A knee to the stomach by Jake Dirden. Dirden slamming away on the Big Texan. Want the mask? Jake Dirden says, "Do you want the mask?" He'll get the mask before Gary Jackson gets to it. Oh, he's got it pulled up. He's got it pulled up with the referee making him break. And then Texan pushes Dirden back into the corner and fires a blow into the midsection of Jake Dirden. Whoop reversed. Jake Dirden charges in with a big clothesline. Whoa, big man. Arms flying, legs flying. Oh, and Dave Vaughn just manages to avoid getting his hand stomped on. Vaughn taking the place of Travis Cook because he feels that he owes the favor back to the Big Texan. And he certainly does. That victory he got over Gary Jackson was all because of the Big Texan. That was last week on SICW Wrestling Explosion. You might remember that when the Big Texan snuck into the side of the ring while Dave Vaughn had the referee's attention, and the Big Texan used a headbutt, loading his mask, putting something in that mask, and knocking out Gary Jackson. No wonder Gary Jackson is willing to risk his career against the Big Texan. Dirden pounds away on Texan. Not exactly a scientific match. We're not talking Dory Funk Jr. and Jack Briscoe here, or Lou Thez and Pat O'Connor, are we? These are two guys who are going to pound on each other, pound on each other until somebody is broken. By the way, we have a guy who can handle these big guys at ringside. Sitting at ringside during this match right now, I saw him earlier, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. He's visiting at East Carondelet Community Center, and he's down at ringside with promoter Herb Simmons, watching the match, keeping a close eye on these two big guys. He knows what it's like to be in the ring with somebody that size and what's going to happen. Vaughn throws a forearm smash. Yep, sitting at ringside is Hacksaw Jim Duggan, promoter Herb Simmons, and timekeeper Michelle Smith. Oh, Durden chases. What happened there? The referee's calling for a bell. I think Vaughn grabbed the leg of Durden. The referee's calling for a disqualification. We have all sort of confusion here. Somehow Vaughn has ended up in the ring with Jake Durden. Vaughn trying to get away from Durden. He's moving. He's trying to get away from Durden. Durden keeping the hunt on. Now he's looking to duck out. Oh, he's not getting there. Durden catches Vaughn. Big forearm smash by Jake Durden on Dave Vaughn. Big Texan pulls Vaughn outside the ring to protect him. He says, don't stand in there and fight that monster. Whoop, and Jake Durden jumps right outside. Whoop, he's caught in between the two of them now. Vaughn on one side, Texan on the other. Not a good idea. He's still kind of caught in between. Texan comes up behind Jake Durden and the Texan, throwing Durden into the ring so Vaughn can land some kicks to him. And now Jake Durden looks like he's caught 2-on-1. And hey, here comes Gary Jackson. He's seen enough. Gary Jackson's seen enough. And it's Gary Jackson tearing into the big Texan. Jackson pounding on Texan. Jackson pounding on Texan. Durden and Vaughn in the ring. Vaughn taking a headbutt from Durden. And he dives outside the ring. Another blow by Gary Jackson. Texan and Vaughn are getting the worst of this deal. Texan rolls into the ring. And now he's caught between Jake Durden and Gary Jackson. Well, Gary Jackson found himself helped by Jake Durden once, and now he helped. He returned the favor, and he helped Jake Durden. He whips Texan into a big boot. Gary Jackson uses the big boot of Jake Durden to level the big Texan. Oh, I'll bet Hacksaw Duggan loves this at ringside. I'll bet he's laughing about it all. There's Vaughn moving around the ring. He's up talking to big Texan. He's getting over to Herb Simmons, and what's he going to do with her? He's getting in Herb Simmons' face. Dave Vaughn grabs Herb Simmons. He grabs Herb Simmons. Hacksaw Duggan sitting there at ringside. You see Hacksaw Duggan say, hey, get away from my buddy. He throws a punch at Dave Vaughn, threw a punch, and he got clobbered with a 2x4 from Hacksaw Duggan, and now the big Texan takes the 2x4 to the back from Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Whoa, Vaughn made a mistake. He tried to insult promoter Herb Simmons, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan stood up for his buddy Herb Simmons, and now all of a sudden, look what we have. We have Hacksaw Jim Duggan in the ring with Jake Durden, Gary Jackson, and are they going to fight? No, I don't think they're going to fight. I think they're happy with each other. Yeah, thumbs up. A chair thrown into the ring by the big Texan. Oh, I don't think he wants to get in that ring anymore. He can worry about next Saturday against Gary Jackson, then Mask versus Career. It's the same night that the title's at stake. The classic title when Ron Powers takes on Ken Casa. Can Powers regain the title? Can Casa push him back? And the crowd chanting for Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Gary Jackson has to have the chair taken away from him by referee Jim Harris. Some sort of order, I think, has finally been restored. And the crowd begins to chant. You know what they're chanting when they see Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Duggan has some new friends in there, doesn't he? Jake Durden and Gary Jackson. Oh, yes. Hacksaw Duggan says, Gary Jackson, good luck, my friend. Good luck. Gary Jackson, Jake Durden, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Now there's a trio. The Classic Wrestling title is up for grabs Saturday, November 16th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Iron Man Ken Casa defends the crown against former champion Ron Powers. Casa opposes Powers November 16th in East Carondelet, and Travis Cook is back. Gary Jackson tackles the big Texan Career versus the Mask, plus Ricky Cruz, Flash Flanagan, and much more. For tickets, call 286-4848, 286-4848. That's Iron Man Casa against Ron Powers, Saturday, November 16th in East Carondelet.
For the best deal on pre-owned cars and trucks, check out King Auto Sales in Cahokia, Illinois. Buy here, pay here. It doesn't get easier than that. Easy terms and financing on the spot for the best deals on all makes and models of pre-owned cars and trucks. You can't beat King Auto Sales, 2915 Camp Jackson Road, Cahokia, Illinois. That's King Auto Sales in Cahokia, where the customer comes first. Phone 337-7050.
The Red Hot Tag match a few weeks back created some controversy, and it also earned Ron Powers a shot at the classic wrestling title belonging to Ken Casa next Saturday in East Carondelet. Let's take a look back at the last couple minutes when Powers and Ricky Cruz took on Casa and Flash Flanagan. Maybe he is the number one contender and he gets a title match. Off the rope with a clubbing forearm comes Flash Flanagan on Ricky Cruz, and he keeps Cruz again from getting over to make that tag with Ron Powers. Front face lock. Is he strangling? Referee checking. Jim Harris right in there looking careful. Powers reaching in. Now you got to be over the top rope, Ron. Come on. Into the corner they go. Harris pushing Flanagan back. Was a tag made? I think a tag was made, but the referee didn't see it, didn't hear it, and Ricky Cruz is still caught. That's 3 times. Cruz tried to make a tag with Powers, and it didn't work. Ooh, things could go sour real quick. They could go south real quick on that side of the ring. Cruz, Powers, Cruz in trouble. Casa brings him to his feet, strangling him over that second rope. Again, Iron Man Ken Casa strangling one of the top contenders for his title over that rope. And then Flash Flanagan on the attack. Flanagan on the attack. The referee and Ron Powers into it once more. There's Casa back strangling some more. Ricky Cruz is getting his lumps and not liking one moment of it. Cruz whipped to the ropes, double arm smash. Oh, Cruz ducks underneath it, and then he pushes Casa into Flanagan. Can he make the tag? Can Cruz get there? Come on, Ricky, are you going to get there or not? He's hurting. Can he dive towards Powers? Yes. Tag is made. Here comes Ron Powers. Powers drops Flanagan. He drops Casa. Again, Flanagan goes down. Ron Powers going after both men, but then Flanagan catching Powers from behind. Again, they try that double arm clothesline. It doesn't work. And it's Powers with the double clothesline, and Ron Powers yells in glee because of what he did, flattening both Flash Flanagan and Ken Casa. Now Ricky Cruz out there, and he's pounding on Casa. We have Casa and Flanagan on either side of the ring. Powers yells at Cruz, whip them. Oh, a whip reversed. Oh, and look at that. Powers managed to fire his clothesline right into the jaw of Ken Casa. Oh, look out. Pile driver. The pile driver by Ron Powers on the champion. He covers him and gets the count of 3 while Flash Flanagan was held outside the ring by Ricky Cruz, and Ron Powers makes the pin. Powers has pinned. He has pinned the classic wrestling champion with a pile driver. Mainly, he did it with his own smart thinking, but certainly with the help of Ricky Cruz, who kept Flash Flanagan from getting into the ring to break up a potential pin. Wow. Will they shake hands? Yes, they do. Ron Powers, a big, big victory. 1 week from today, Ron Powers might be the classic wrestling champion once again, because next Saturday he will be battling Iron Man Ken Casa for the crown at the East Carondelet Community Center. And Ron, I know how big a moment this is to you. You were the second man ever to hold this championship until Ricky Cruz knocked you off the throne. There's been hard feelings over the past 3 years between you and Cruz and different wrestlers. But now, whatever you've gone through, whatever battles, whatever hardships, whatever bumps you've had to take, you're right there. You're right at the edge. Can you win the title from Casa?
You know, Larry, I've held many titles. Actually, at one time, I probably held more independent titles than anybody else that stepped foot in the ring. Those days are behind me, and this is probably the second half of my career, probably the last half of my career. And to tell you the truth, these title shots mean more to me than anything. As I told you before, God, family, and title, that is what I live by, and that is what I'll die by. There's a lot of great competitors here at SICW now. when I first came in here, it wasn't like that. I feel that I picked up the game a little bit here. I think the talent that comes through here far exceeds any other promotion in the Midwest on the independent side. The SICW is what I live and breathe and what I'll die for at this point in time. The fans out there are reacting to me a little differently now. You know, at first they liked me, then they didn't for a while, and now they do. You know,
but you haven't changed. But you haven't changed. I don't see, and I've seen you for a lot of years. I haven't seen your real style change, Ron.
No, and I won't change. I mean, I'm 47 years old. There's nothing in me going to change. I mean, it's, you know, what you get is what you see. But my point is, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get these title shots. And like I said, they mean more to me than anything here. But let's talk about a couple things here. You know, I mean, let's talk about some of the guys that are at the top here at the SICW. You got someone like Ricky Cruz. You know, Ricky, I know me and you have had a past. I know me and you, you know, we can make a hell of a tag team. We proved that. But you and I are out for the same thing. We're the same dogs going after the same bone. And I'll tell you what, I'll fight you tooth and nail to get that. That's how important this title is to me. Ken Casa, you know what, I won't take anything away from you as a champion, well, other than your big mouth and the big mouth of your manager and that little weasel Vaughn that runs around you. I'll tell you what, you guys keep up your antics and I'm going to end it for you, and I'll end it for you next weekend. As far as Travis's parade goes, I'll tell you what, Travis, you're coming to an end of that parade, brother. You think getting your head shaved was an end to this? Nah, not at all. Wait till I get my hands on you. But let's talk about Flash Flanagan. Flash Flanagan, I hear you whining and crying about this didn't happen, this didn't happen. I mean, I heard about this. I've been listening to this for a year. Brother, I've had the rug pulled out from underneath me so many times I felt like I'm on a treadmill. I mean, there is just no answers to this business that are basically pleasing enough, that things that you'll want to hear, but you never will. Because guys like you are nothing but bitches, all right? And I'll tell you what, you want to get in that ring with me, you think because you hit me in the head with a chair and knocked me down for 3 seconds, that counts? Let me tell you something, brother. I've been hit before. I've been knocked down before, and I've gotten up every time.
And now the pressure is, can you do it? Next Saturday at the East Carondelet Community Center, this could be your next Classic Wrestling champion, and you just heard a list of potential contenders.
Ken Casa, you're going down. Travis, you're going down deeper.
The Classic Wrestling title is up for grabs Saturday, November 16th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Iron Man Ken Casa defends the crown against former champion Ron Powers. Casa opposes Powers November 16th in East Carondelet, and Travis Cook is back. Gary Jackson tackles the Big Texan Career versus the Mask, plus Ricky Cruz, Flash Flanagan, and much more. For tickets, call 286-4848, 286-4848. That's Iron Man Casa against Ron Powers, Saturday, November 16th in East Carondelet. For music and fun, the place to party is Pop's nightclub and concert venue in Sojay. From Bruno Mars, or the first U.S. tour of Nickelback, to Flogging Molly or the Insane Clown Posse, 30 years of memories pack Pop's concert venue, with more made at every new show. And there's a party at Pop's nightclub every night, a melting pot of friends enjoy the best in dance, rock, pop, and top 40 music until 5:30 a.m. Plus, add a full game room. Check out all the action at popsrocks.com. Then and now, the place to party is Pop's in Sojay.
Let Custom Truck Upholstery give your vehicle a facelift. Visit us on 707 North 20th Street in East St. Louis, Illinois. Custom Truck Upholstery merges old world craftsmanship and attention to detail with the latest in modern technology to make your car, truck, boat, or motorcycle look like new. Call Custom Truck Upholstery at 618-875-9850.
Hammerlock. Part of the strength of St. Louis wrestling was always the undercards filled with main eventers from other territories along with hot youngsters and salty veterans. Here's a perfect example from Wrestling at the Chase, May 23rd, 1982. Roger Kirby tests Mark Romero.
Hooking inside the hammerlock, making it more or less an inside hammerlock. He can really go to a double wrist lock from there. Good grip by Roger Kirby on Mark Romero. You can see how he has that arm tied up. Mike Brennan on the low camera getting a good look at it. A punch into the rib cage by Kirby. And then Kirby pounds on the shoulder. That was with the forearms and the side of the hand. It was a legal blow. Romero, though, getting upset with Roger Kirby. Kirby takes Romero down with the hair. And Garvin was busy cautioning Romero about having the fist clenched. And because Kirby, with his experience, took advantage of the position in the ring of the referee and of Romero, he was able to get Romero down on the canvas.
Five minutes of elapsed, 5 minutes left.
It's Mark Romero and Roger Kirby, the opener today on the anniversary edition of Wrestling at the Chase. Kirby with a kick to the head. It's with the sole of the boot, so it's legal. Several kicks by Roger Kirby on Mark Romero, and Romero has run into some difficulty here against Kirby. The opening moments belong to Romero, but Kirby has taken command now. He gets Romero's shoulders down, count of 2. Again, Kirby ties up the arm into that hammerlock position. Romero reaches underneath, and with one arm, body slams Kirby. See now, Mark Romero showing some power right there. And Kirby, experience pays off for Kirby there. He caught Romero with a headbutt to the stomach and then knocked Romero to the mat. Kirby wasn't rattled. He kept his head after that body slam, and when Romero came in, straightened up, Kirby saw an opening and took advantage. The hammerlock, and then Romero thrown into the top buckle by Roger Kirby. Kirby shoves Romero into the corner. Kirby with that forearm smash driven home hard. Oh, Romero reverses the whip. Flying head scissors by Romero, almost loses it in midair, but somehow regains his balance and tosses Kirby over. Oh, that was dangerous. It took some courage for Romero to go into the air. Kirby almost managed to shove Romero off, but Romero somehow kept his balance like a giant cat in midair and brought Kirby over with the flying head scissors. It was dangerous, but it paid off, a lot like the world heavyweight champion Ric Flair. He will gamble a lot, just like Romero did there. But those gambles, those risks, often pay off. They certainly paid off for Flair, or he would not have the gold belt today.
3 minutes left, 3 minutes.
Kirby kind of popped that head out of the head scissors. The head's free, and he has the shoulders of Romero down, at least for a second. Up and over the top goes Kirby. Flying head scissors again by Romero. Kirby flung down heavily by Mark Romero. Mark Romero exciting this packed house here at the KPLR TV studio as he takes to the air. Now Romero hooks the arm of Kirby, but Kirby manages to get his body weight over the chest of Romero, and Mark's going to have to be a little careful here of his shoulders. Terry Garvin right in there watching that Romero's shoulders don't hit the mat for a count of 3. Romero still has the head scissors, but the positioning is much better for Kirby. You can see why. He grabs the tights while the referee's looking at the shoulders. Romero struggling to keep those shoulders up. Garvin takes a look. He heard the cries of the crowd. Out of 1. Again, the shoulder comes up. Garvin not flat on his stomach. I think he anticipates what might be going on, and he's trying to get a look at that too. Oh, Kirby lifting Romero. We talked about Kirby's strength. He's showing some right there. Roger Kirby, the man who holds the world record for the leg press, he showed you power there as he lifted the 235-pound Romero and carried him to the corner. What an awkward position he started from. Tells you something about the strength of the man right there. And Romero is finding out something about the rather savage nature of Roger Kirby, as Kirby wants to have a win today, and he kicks Romero right off the apron to the concrete floor. That very thin carpeting that's across the floor certainly doesn't help much when you get bounced off from 4 or 5 foot into the air. Kirby knocking Romero onto that concrete.
1 minute left, 1 minute.
1 minute remains. Roger Kirby has Romero in some trouble here. He clamps the head. Romero, though, throws Kirby away. He hits the ropes. Look out in the middle. Oh, Kirby managed to put on the skids before he was punched, but Romero stays on top of Kirby. Romero punches Kirby, and Kirby knocked right out of the ring. Roger Kirby making a trip to that hard floor, compliments of Romero. Romero yanks the top rope and flings Kirby back into the center of the ring. Romero goes for a pin. Before the count of 2, Kirby's shoulders are up. Kirby comes off the rope, then it's abdominal stretch. The abdominal stretch right in the middle of the ring. Kirby hanging on, hanging on. The referee checking if he wants to submit. He's caught right in the middle of the ring by the abdominal stretch of Mark Romero. There's the bell. And Kirby did not give up. Kirby hung in there. The seasoned pro that he is, he knew the time was fast escaping. He just hung on. And the time ran out, and that's going to make this match a draw between Mark Romero and Roger Kirby. Let's go to ring announcer Mickey Garagiola.
With time running out, referee Terry Garvin declares the match a draw.
From the World Series champion Tigers in '45 to the Gateway Grizzlies to the '03 state tournament Belleville East Lancers. A tradition in baseball and an even longer tradition in fine furniture and service. Miller Furniture, 1004 East Main in Belleville.
The Classic Wrestling title is up for grabs Saturday, November 16th at the East Carondelet Community Center. Iron Man Ken Casa defends the crown against former champion Ron Powers. Casa opposes Powers November 16th in East Carondelet, and Travis Cook is back. Gary Jackson tackles the Big Texan Career versus the Mask, plus Ricky Cruz, Flash Flanagan, and much more. For tickets, call 286-4848, 286-4848. That's Iron Man Casa against Ron Powers, Saturday, November 16th in East Carondelet. The time is near. Is there any doubt that Ron Powers is determined to become the Classic Wrestling Champion again next Saturday in East Carondelet? The problem, of course, is getting past title holder Iron Man Ken Casa and his manager Travis Cook. Plus, is Gary Jackson's career going to end next Saturday? Career versus Mask. Jackson against the Big Texan in East Carondelet. Add in Flanagan, Cruz, and all the rest. Is it any wonder that SICW Wrestling Explosion has become so special? Be there when the bell rings to start the action.
Iron Man rushed it out.